as we talk about 1 Corinthians chapter 13, there are two primary killers of relationships. Maybe a relationship between husband and wife, a relationship between boyfriend and girlfriend, relationship between parents and children, relationship between siblings, a relationship between friends. There are two primary killers of relationships, and that is pride and selfishness. Pride and selfishness. Let's talk about pride first. Now, the problem about pride, or the problem with prideful person, is that they don't know that they are one. You know that? The problem with a prideful person, or a person full of pride, is that they don't know that they are a proud person, that they are a person full of pride. Now, how can pride kill a relationship? King Solomon said in Proverbs chapter 16, verse 18, he said, pride goes before distraction. Pride goes before distraction. Before distraction happens, before falling apart happens, before breaking up happens, comes pride. You know that? Destruction of your marriage, destruction of your family, destruction of the relationship between friends, destruction of relationship between boyfriend or girlfriend, destruction between relationship between neighbors. And that is it. Okay? Destruction. Pride goes before destruction. It destroys what? It destroys, it tears apart each other. Pride tears apart each other. Now, as we talk about 1 Corinthians chapter 13, it talks about people who are envious, people who dishonors others, people who are boastful. A person who is proud is envious. Do you know that? A person who is pride, who is full of pride, is full of envy in himself or herself. Everything for that person is competition. That person would even compete with his spouse, with his wife. That person would even compete with his husband, with her husband. That person would compete with their siblings. Everything about relationship is based on competition. I am better than you. I am smarter than you. I bring more bacon than you. I work harder than you. I look beautiful, more beautiful than you. My mom loves me more than she loves you. I am my dad's favorite. There's always that competition. Competition. And that is why a prideful person is an envious person. He would envy everybody in that relationship. And that is not a healthy relationship. The second one is a proud person is dishonoring person. A person would dishonor others by humiliating them, embarrassing them in front of many, putting them down. And then they would compare that person to himself. Dishonors others. We've been to that kind of relationship, and that person would always humiliate you with coarse jokes in front of your friends. Always put you down. Okay? Would always laugh at you. Would always embarrass you. Sometimes parents does that. We embarrass our kids in front of lots of people. Sometimes husband does that to their wife. Or sometimes a wife does that to their husbands. Or sometimes children does that to their parents. We humiliate them, embarrass them in front of many. And then a proud person is boastful. Very boastful, and they have very difficult time complimenting others. They don't want to say, you're doing good. You're awesome. Because they're basically saying, well, I'm better than you. I'm more awesome than you. Because if I'm going to say, you are doing really good, then it means that I'm basically saying that you are better than me. But a person who is full of pride in himself will say, no, you are good, but I'm better than you. Right? And that's why they have difficulty complimenting other people. So it tears apart each other. Next is it provokes arguments. Proverbs chapter 13 verse 10 says, pride breeds quarrel. Imagine you are going to bring two proud people in one room. What would happen? Imagine you are going to bring a pride husband, a husband who's full of pride, and a wife who's full of pride in one room. Let them talk together, argue together. What would happen? Even if you are going to bring them in one room, in one meeting, it's a fight. It provokes argument. The thing about this is a proud person becomes irritated when corrected for mistakes. We don't want to be corrected. They criticize others, yet when criticized, they become very defensive. So it tears apart each other, it provokes arguments, it leaves no room for reconciliation. And that's the third one. It leaves no room for reconciliation. A proud person is convinced that they are always right. Agree? A proud person is convinced that I am always right. And because I am always right, whenever we are in an argument, then you are always wrong. Right? I am always right, you are always wrong. And when I am wrong, then let's go back to rule number 1. I am always right. Even I am wrong, I am always right. Right? Because you are always wrong. A proud person has a hard time apologizing for their mistakes. Because I am always right. I am Mr. Right. I am Miss Right. So why would I apologize to my mistake? Because if I'm going to apologize to my mistake, if I am going to say, I am sorry, I am wrong, then I am admitting that you are better than me. That I am always wrong. That you are right. Now I cannot tell in a relationship, a proud person cannot say to somebody that you are right. Because it means that I am dumb. So they are always right. You cannot admit that they are wrong. I am right, you're wrong. So I'm not going to apologize for my mistake. And if they are going to apologize, and if a proud person would say, I am sorry, I apologize, they would always put this connecting dot. I'm sorry, but, you know, if you did not do this, I'm not going to do that. Right? We always have this dot. We always have to justify why we did something wrong. Why we hurt the other person. Okay, I'm sorry, but, right? But, you fill in the blank. But when you say that you're not really sorry, you're always right. They're not wrong. They don't know how to say sorry. And a proud person has a hard time forgiving others. Why would I forgive you? You hurt me so deeply. I'm not going to forgive you. No, I won't do that. Bitterness is actually a product of pride. You've been hurt, but you don't want to forgive. Because the pride in you says, don't forgive that person. Don't forgive that person. So the number one killer is pride. The second one is selfishness. Selfishness. And there are two primary characteristics of a selfish person. The first one is being concerned. A selfish person is being concerned excessively or exclusively with oneself. It's just all about me. A selfish person is self-seeking. I'm only going to be friends with you if you can give me what I want. I'm only going to stay in this relationship if you can give me what I need. Maybe financial, maybe material, maybe emotional, maybe whatever kind of need you want in that relationship. It is always me. It's always self-seeking. It is self-absorbed. Okay? It's all about me, mine, and myself. The main concern is on how they can gratify themselves either from their own effort or from the resources of others, and they don't care about the needs of others. Very self-absorbed. They're even willing to step on others' toes just to get what they want. So self-seeking, self-absorbed is all about me, and manipulative. They use manipulation. It may be an emotional manipulation. It may be sowing fear, or it may be guilt-tripping the other person. Just to manipulate the other person to get what they want. So a selfish person is a person who is always concerned with oneself. The second characteristic of a selfish person is having no regard for the needs or feelings of others. Now, before I proceed, let me give you this caution. I should have given this caution before I started the message. Caution is, don't think about the person sitting next to you. Okay? Think about yourself as you listen. Just try to evaluate, am I this person? Okay, don't try to evaluate, oh yeah, Pastor, you're right. Yeah, this one. No. Try thinking about, try to evaluate yourself, okay? Don't even look at the person sitting next to you. Okay, so the second one is having no regard for the needs or feelings of others. A selfish person is a very uncaring person. They only think of their own self and not very considerate or empathetic towards others. They won't think about others. It's all about me. I don't care about what you feel. Okay? I don't care about your needs. I only care about myself. So they don't care. They're very uncaring. They're very irritable. Okay? Especially when they don't get what they wanted. They get irritated easily. But in the first place, why do we get irritated, by the way? Because we don't get what we wanted, right? We get irritated with our wives if we don't get what we wanted. We get irritated. You get irritated with your husbands if you don't get what you wanted from your husband. You get irritated with your kids if you don't get what you wanted from your kids. You get irritated with your friends if you don't get what you wanted from them. And that is a sign of selfishness. I'm being selfish. I don't care about them. I only care about myself. I get irritated because they cannot give me what I want. And I want it now. Selfish people are good in history. You know that? They're very good in history. They're historians. They could remember what happened in the past years. They could remember if you forgot the birthdays. They could remember what you did not only last summer, but last summer. And in every argument, in a fight, they would always bring that. Okay? Into that argument. Wait a minute, we're not talking about that. Yeah, we're not talking about that now, but now we are talking about this. Because I just remembered. Oh yeah, every time you had an argument, you would always remember what happened in the past summers. They're historians. And they put their happiness before anyone else. They do not show feelings of compassion or sympathy or understanding towards others or the society in general. They just, I don't care. Right? A selfish person is always like, I don't care. I don't care about others. I don't care about you. I only care about myself. It's all about me, mine, and myself. I don't care about how you feel. I don't care about your needs. But if you're not going to give me what I want, then it's going to be a fight. The I don't care attitude. Now, do you know that many, if not most, of those who enter into a marriage relationship do so with a selfish motive? Do you know that? You don't know that, right? But many, if not most, of those who enter into a marriage relationship do so with a selfish motive without even knowing. I didn't know it. I just realized it now. Each one enters into a relationship knowing that the person that he or she can get something from this marriage. Get it? You enter into a relationship, into a marriage relationship, because you are expecting that you can get something from it. You're not going to enter into a relationship knowing that you are going to give something. But you know that you can get something from this marriage. May it be an emotional thing. Right? Most women enter into a marriage relationship thinking that she can get the emotional needs that she desperately wants from the husband. Most women enter into a relationship thinking and knowing that I can get some of my husband's ears when I have problems, that I have somebody to talk to when I am in a deep situation, that somebody's going to listen to me when I have a bad day at work. Does that happen? Sometimes. But you know, you put your husband to bed as soon as the back hits the bed, and you just started talking about what happened at work, the husband would snore. And the same thing with a husband, right? The same thing with a husband. The guy marries the girl thinking that the girl, that she can meet his, because we have kids, he can meet his blank needs. Right? Only a few enters into marriage knowing that he or she has so much love to offer to the other person without expecting to receive back something. That's miracle. When you enter into a relationship, when you enter into marriage, you are not there to say, I'm going to marry you because you complete me. We have that notion. Oh, I marry this guy because this guy completes me. That's not true. You marry this girl because you are already complete. You're already whole. And you have so much in you. You have so much love to give to the other person. And the same thing, the guy would say, I'm going to marry you because I have so much in me. Not money. I have so much love in me that I'm going to give it to you. I won't get drained. And I'm going to give you and give you and give you love. I'm going to give you and give you and give you time. I'm going to care about you. I'm going to be sensitive to you. Make sense? So when you enter into marriage, and if you, most of you are already married, now that you are married, stop thinking about yourself. Oh, he did not give me this. It's already Valentine's Day, not even a flower. Well, my wife's allergic to flowers. Right? So not just about yourself. Now, let's talk about how can selfishness kill a relationship. Selfishness is draining. It is emotionally draining. A selfish person, basically what a selfish person would do is, I want this from you, and I'm going to drain you. Okay? I'm not going to give you anything in return, but I'm going to get everything from you. I need all what I want from you, and I'm going to get it all from you. What would happen? If a selfish person is a parasite, by the way. Okay? A selfish person is a parasite. A selfish person would suck out all of your energy, all of your love, all of everything that you have. And then, when you are sucked out, when you are drained, when your blood is drained, then you're gone. So because it is emotionally draining, when you are drained already, a selfish person, which I call a victimizer, okay? The victimizer, the selfish person, will look for another victim to drain, to get that energy from, to suck that power, that love from. On the other hand, the victim of the selfish person would one day get emotionally drained and would dissolve their relationship. before the person would get totally emotionally drunk. When that person would realize that, hey, I have nothing to give anymore. So I can't give up this marriage, this relationship, this friendship. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go. So that is how selflessness kills a relationship. One common issue of a prideful and selfish person is low self-esteem. If you would come to know them, you would pity them. Being prideful and selfless is just a coping mechanism to their very low self-esteem. Unfortunately, this coping mechanism is a very destructive tool, especially in a relationship. So, if you assess yourself that I think I'm being selfish in our relationship. Be honest. Be honest first to yourself. I think I am being selfish in our relationship. But I have something to give. And you have to change your mind. It's like repentance saying, hey, I'm going to change. I'm being selfish going here, so I'm going to change. Repent. I'm being prideful. I need to change. I want this marriage to last. I want this relationship to last forever. I want my relationship with my children to be healthy. I want my relationship with my siblings to be healthy. I want my relationship with my parents to be healthy. I would stop being selfish. I would stop being prideful in that relationship. Here's the antidote. First one for pride is humility. Okay? Philippians chapter 2, verses 3 to 4. And I'm just going to read the highlight here, the highlighted part, because we're going to use the same verse on selflessness. Philippians chapter 2, verses 3 to 4. Put that on your notes. With humility of mind, regard one another as less important than yourself. Is that right? No. With humility of mind, regard one another as more important than yourself. Now, here, Paul was talking about Jesus. In verse 6, Paul was saying that actually, he was saying, though Jesus was God, but did not consider equality with God, he was saying, be like Jesus. He was God, but he did not consider himself as God. He was saying he became a man. Not just a man, but he became a very poor God. Okay? Regard one another as more important than yourself. Cliff Barrows said that there was 12 words that are absolutely essential for good marriage. And I want you to spot the difference here. The first slide would say this one. Let's go to the first one. And I want you to read it with me aloud with emphasis. Okay? The first slide here. Okay, can we do that? Can we say it together? Together? With the emphasis. You see something there at the end? Okay? So let's say it again together. Together? I was wrong! I am sorry! Please forgive me! I love you! Can you see yourself doing that? Huh? Can you see yourself doing that? Now let's go to the next slide. Okay? Let's say the next slide together. I was wrong. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. What's the difference? The exclamation point. Which one do we usually use? The first one or the second one? The first one, right? The first one. I'm sorry. Yeah, I understand. I'm sorry. Why, do you want me to cry just to say sorry? Okay, I love you. I was wrong. So what's up? Humility. Learn how to say it nicely. And that's what when we talk to our kids, especially to our son, we say, son, say it like you mean it. Say it like you mean it. I'm sorry. You're really sorry? Yeah, I know. Say it like you mean it. Long pause. ate, I'm sorry. Say it like you mean it. Okay? In any relationship, if we're not willing to say, I'm wrong, I'm sorry, please forgive me, or admit that we love each other and desire to forgive one another, then reconciliation can never take place. And how you say it matters a lot. It matters a lot. Paul said, love does not boast, it is not proud. We make mistakes. We are not perfect. That's why these words, I am sorry, are there. We make mistakes. Okay? We are not infallible. We make decisions that are wrong. We say things that are stupid. We do things that are embarrassing. The second antidote is the antidote for selflessness, which is selflessness. Selflessness. Philippians chapter 2, verses 3 to 4. I'm just going to read to you the highlighted one. Do nothing from selfishness. Do not merely look out for your own personal interest, but also for the interest of others. Stop thinking just about your own interest. Stop thinking just, I want this. Just about yourself. Okay? Look for the interest of others. Look for what your husband needs, what your wife needs, what your kids, what your children need. Look for them. Ask them. Okay? How are we going to do that? First, ask yourself these questions. What is the love language of my spouse? How would I make that? How will I make my children feel that they are being loved? Because it is easy to tell them, I love you, right? But showing it is different. Maybe the expression of love is something that you need to discover from your spouse. The expression of love maybe is something that you need to discover from your children. Every children, they have different expressions of love. Discover it so that they are going to learn and know that you really mean it, that you love them. How can I make them feel loved and know that I care for them? What sacrifice should I make? What sacrifice should I make? What do you think are the sacrifices that you should make? For your spouse, for your children, for your siblings, for your parents. Just to show that, hey, I'm done with being selfish. I'm done with it. Okay? So ask yourself these questions. The second one is be willing to be last. Jesus said, I came to serve and not to be served. I came to serve and not to be served. And that should be our motto. I go into this relationship not for my girlfriend, or not for my boyfriend, or not for my husband, or not for my wife, or not for my friend, to fill all the needs I have, to meet all my needs. But I'm going to go into this relationship so that I could show and could feel the need of the other person. Be willing to be last. Be willing to be last. Okay, that's the second. Be willing to be last, because Jesus came to serve and not to be served. Jesus came to be last, not to be first.